Hi guys! What's up?
Purple, yellow, and red.
Hey guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Henry. I hope you guys are doing well. I do very well. I have actually no clue if this camera perspective, like this camera view, is actually working well. But let's figure it out together, I guess. About today's video, actually, I'm very excited to tell that this DIY I was so excited to do because it was all over my Pinterest walls. Like, my Pinterest was full of these kind of mirrors. And what I'm actually talking about is, yes, we are going to do a cow printed punch rock frame for a normal mirror. I don't know how to call this. Actually, it's a punch rock cow printed frame. Without further ado, let's jump right into the DIY. So regarding the materials, it's very simple. You actually need a monk cloth. It's a specific type of fabric you're going to need for punching. What else you're going to need is a needle, a punch needle. I've just ordered a punch needle kit. It comes with 3 different needles. I'm using like the middle needle. It's 3.5 millimeters. Of course, you're going to need some yarn as well. I'm using crocheting yarn because, as you might know, I crochet a lot. It's acrylic yarn. I know that like tufting and doing carpets, most of the people are working with cotton yarn, but since cotton yarn is very expensive, and I figured like this is only like a frame for my mirror, so I decided to go with acrylic yarn. What else you're going to need is a wooden frame, because we're going to install the monk cloth onto the wooden frame by stapling it. Then what else you're going to need is some tools, a stapler, and of course like just some normal scissors. And later on for the process, we're going to need some hot glue and some carpet adhesive. What else? Of course, a mirror. So regarding the setup, I installed the monk cloth to my wooden frame by using a stapler, and for this I can fully recommend using some help actually, because it's very dangerous using a stapler. So don't do this on your own if you're not like familiar on how it's working. Before I actually did that, I wanted to measure how big my frame is, or how big my frame is going to be for the mirror. So I put my mirror on top of the monk cloth and transferred the outline of my mirror to the monk cloth, so that I know that I have like the right measurements in the end. And after this, I stapled the monk cloth to my wooden frame. As soon as the monk cloth is stapled to the frame, I started to actually design my frame. I wanted to go for the cow print because I really like the design, so I decided to draw huge spots, which I will fill in with some colors in the end. It's going to be black and white, so I'm going to do the original cow print, but you can use any kind of color actually as well, and there are so many other designs and options you can do with this frame. I wanted to have this not as a normal rectangle frame. I wanted to have it more like in a funny and crazy way, so I decided to do curves for my frame. The inner outline of my frame is going to be very curvy, so it looks like a splash. I don't know if this is like the correct word to describe it. Around the splash, I designed like my cow spot. After this, we are setting up our frame. I can fully recommend to use like some books underneath, because you need to have your frame a little bit lifted up, because you do not want to punch into your surface underneath it. Alright, as soon as we have decided on which design we're going to take, as I said, I'm going to do the cow print. We are going to set up our punch needle, because we are going to continue with the punch needle process. And for this, you have your punch needle in front of you, and as I said, I'm using the 3.5 millimeter hook. And as you might recognize, there's a little hole in the needle as well. On the other hand of the needle, there's a hole as well. And what we are going to use is this wire thingy. It's like a setup which helps you to loop your thread through your needle. And what we are going to do is we put this little wire thingy through the hole of our needle, and afterwards it comes out on the other end of the needle. Then we are going to loop our thread through the wire thingy, and then we pull it up again through the hole of the needle to set up our yarn. That's actually how you set up the needle. Next, we are going to start the punch needle process actually. So this process is working that we start punching by setting up our needle first, of course, and then we start our first punch. So we punch into the cloth on our outline. I'm starting with the white. Then it is very, very important for your first punch that you take the thread that is looped through your needle hole in your first punch and pull it to the other surface, to the other side. So it's facing the downside of your fabric. Then you can actually start the punch needle process as it describes itself. It's just punching. And what we are going to do is we take our needle up and then we work as close as to the monk cloth surface as possible. So we set our next punch as close as possible to our first punch, and then we go down again, punch through the monk cloth, go up again, working as close as to the surface as possible. Then we go back down again and up again, working like a punch needle all the way along our outline. And what this process actually does is it builds little loops underneath the cloth, which are building your carpet. And lots of these loops are building this fluffiness of your carpet or of your rug. So you always have to make sure that your access thread on the other side of your needle is always loose, because if it's tight, you do not build those loops underneath. So those loops won't be created at all or will be very, very tiny. So you always have to make sure that your loose end, or like the access end of your thread, is always loose and not tight. Alright, after you have discovered how it works, you are going to work all the way along your outline. And what I do is I'm working first on the outer outline and then going all the way down to the center, building like some kind of circle line. And yeah, this will take you a while. Actually, I first finished up all the white spots and then I continue with the black spots. In general, I have like 7 white spots and 7 black spots as well. Okay, as soon as you want to finish up your spot or you're out of thread, actually you want to secure it, you just cut up your thread and you loop your thread to the other side again, leaving a long axis like on the other side. During that process, I think like it's very, very monotonous because it's always the same, but what I can say is like it's it makes so much fun. I don't know. I am always happy when I do this. It's like very, very meditating as well. You can watch something, you can listen to music, you can listen to podcasts. I don't know what you want to do, but yeah, it's a very soothing process, I'd say. Alright, as soon as we are done like with the tufting or punch needle process, we are going to turn around and look at our result. And I always like fascinated on how we can turn like a plain surface into a rug in the end. This looks like very, very crowded and messy at first. So what we are going to do next is we are going to clean it up by cutting all the excess thread, make it look fresh and clean. So yeah, that's like what we are going to do. Okay, as soon as we have cleaned up our rug, we are going to start the securing process on the other side using our carpet adhesive. What we are going to do, we are going to use a spatula and the carpet adhesive, and we are applying the carpet adhesive on the spatula first, and then we rub it onto the carpet backside. What this carpet adhesive is actually doing is, as soon as we are taking off the carpet or like the monk cloth from our wooden frame, the carpet will roll up. And what it does is it stabilizes the other end of the carpet. As soon as the adhesive is dried, we are going to remove our carpet monk cloth or our carpet from the wooden frame. For this, I'm using a tool again to remove all the stapler pins. As soon as you have removed the carpet, we are going to cut out the inside of our carpet first, and afterwards we cut out the outer edges of our carpet. It's very, very important to leave some space on your edges when you cut, especially the inside and also the outside. As soon as we have cut out the inside, we need to cut some little cuts into the edges in order to fold them down to the backside of our carpet. And we're going to do this with the edges of our outer outline as well. As soon as we have the cutting done, actually we are going to use our hot glue pistol to glue down our edges of the carpet. I started with the inside, so I had all the little bits and pieces of edges on the inside, folding down to the backside and gluing them to the backside. Be careful using a hot glue pistol, it's very, very hot. I burned myself actually, and there's like a little bubble on my finger now and it hurts as hell. As soon as you have done the inside, we are going to do the outside as well. This was a little bit tricky because it was like a long line where we have to apply the glue. And after this, we are gluing the frame to our mirror, which is like the final important moment of how it looks and if it fits and if we have the correct size. Luckily, it fitted on my mirror perfectly. So I glued it down with a hot glue pistol as well. After some time, when the glue is dry, you can use your mirror. And what I did is I just cleaned up my frame a little bit because it got all dusty and there was some bits of pieces of yarn left, so I vacuumed my frame. Use a low power of vacuuming for this process because you do not want to remove your frame in the end and then you have your frame in your hand and you have to glue it down again. So you do not want to have that. And then you are actually all set up and done and we can check out the final result. Let's go. This is the final result. I have it here. It's like very happy, but it looks so cool. Oh my god. And yeah, that's like the final result. I'm so happy how it turned out actually. It looks so cool. I'm so like amazed how it turned out. Like I wish like I didn't, this is like too dark now. I wish like I could have done like the spots a little bit like tinier in the end, because right now it looks like, it reminds me a little bit of a zebra look as well. Not like a cow print, but it's okay. It's like my first ever punch rock frame I've ever done. It was so much fun and I hope you guys can do it even better than I. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for more DIY videos in the future. I mean, it's free and it doesn't take too much time to just click on a subscribe. Okay, I stop. Make sure to check me out on my social media tagged along the screen, and I can't wait actually to be back in the next video, guys. I'm so stoked to do more DIYs. This is so much fun actually. So I see you guys soon. I love you and I'm out. I'm bye-bye. My head is completely crazy. I have to leave, man.